We're live.
Hey, thanks for choosing the Poor Life
The,
Decisions podcast. I'm David Phipps.
I'm Silver Doubloons.
With me as always, even.
I forgot you were supposed to introduce me. I introduced myself.
No, Silver Doubloons.
I felt like jumping in. I was worried. I don't. Listen. This is a two-way street. We both have to contribute, and I thought that I would jump in right away and take some of the load off your weary back. Because you carry this show, Doc. You carry this, Doc.
I don't know about that. I think it's an equal effort between two parties, hefting with all their might.
Hefting, dude. With all the strength of arm and heart and brain, as fucking that guy would say, the Mary Ellen Carter, Stan Rogers.
Jesus, what? I thought you were talking about Mary Lou Retton or something. Who's Stan Rogers?
Stan Rogers is this Canadian guy who sings folk songs and sea shanties, and he has this song called "The Mary Ellen Carter," where he in the final verse he says, "Put out all your strength of arm and heart and brain," and it's a song about like overcoming your adversities and rising up to become the greatest person you can be. Do you want to listen to it together?
I do.
On this podcast that we're doing?
Yes.
This is copyright music?
Well, maybe not that.
That's probably a problem. Fuck.
Two things. As an American, I don't know anything about that shit. Secondly, that reminds me of the Ace Frehley song, You're the Best
Around. No one's ever going to keep us down. That one. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. So, without getting involved in the music industry at all, because I'm sure my name's on a list somewhere. I don't need it to be brought back up. I've made it this far. So,
dude. Dude.
Yes. My dude, what is it?
That's so true.
What happened?
No. I was just thinking that what you said is like, yeah, everybody gets canceled sooner or later, Everybody has stuff in their past. Everybody has stuff in their past that they're not proud of,
Yeah.
Everybody in the world, like the whole idea of like cancel culture and all stuff like that, like everybody in the world has stuff that they regret and has stuff that they wish they never did, and I think that's what makes us human. We're all flawed, We all share that. And that's cool. And that's what this show is all about. Speaking of which, this is the Poor Life Decisions podcast, where we talk about the poor life decisions we've made and what we've done to overcome them.
Yeah, and I believe another objective was to not only learn about ourselves, each other, but how the rest of the world might work out.
Wow. Dude.
We did it.
If only, right?
If only.
Like, listen, if I can learn from your mistakes and you can learn from my mistakes and everyone can learn from everyone else's mistakes, then we don't have to make those mistakes ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm a big fan of that.
Exactly. So that's what this show is all about, I think. I think everyone listening, you learn from our mistakes. Learn from our mistakes, please. If you take anything away from this, we're not proud. For me, I don't know about you, Doc, but I'm not proud of the stories I tell on here. Some of them are funny in retrospect.
I don't feel pride most times.
Right, exactly. These are poor life decisions, and we look back on them with humor because we are different people than we used to be, right? Like, and that's what's so funny about this, right? That's what's so funny about this whole thing is we look back on this with not pride but a sense of humbleness, I think, and humility that we have overcome.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, we still make mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
What's that you're doing there?
I'm just mixing myself a little drinky poo. Oh, actually, listen, can you monologue for about 45 seconds? We'll say I need to go make myself some lemonade.
Okay, while we're making lemonade, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna think of something that maybe I'm not too proud of that I've done, and then I'm gonna ask Silver Doubloons, the famous pirate, what he learned from it, or maybe he'll just say it, which is what I'm hoping for most of all. Uh, hmm, poor life decisions. Well, I can tell you about one, but it's just a continued poor life decision, and at this point, I'm starting to wonder if it's mental illness on my part. Uh, so maybe I won't do that one yet. I'm not ready for that. Another poor life decision. Uh, Education. Now, I think education is important. I myself finished high school, and I also went to community college, graduated a 2-year degree in 3 years, and then I went to university and I got a bachelor's in psychology. You can too. Uh, I regret that, mainly because I bought a lot of airsoft guns and I've done absolutely nothing with my degree besides hold 9 to 5 jobs where basically I'm in a call center and I let white people, sorry, not just white people, that's awfully ignorant and racist of me to say, but I let people shit all over me all day long.
It was
Dude, we got the fucking lemonade.
no name brand pink lemonade, by the way. It's one of the ones that goes in your freezer and you have to mix it with a bunch of water. So I'm gonna be mixing it for the next little while.
Right on, man. You wacky Canadians with your no name brand.
No name is the best. They're simple. They're efficient. They're not flashy. I appreciate something that's not flashy. You know how much they had to pay their designer? They didn't have to pay him shit. That means they passed the
designer.
They passed the savings on to me because they don't have a designer. They don't need a designer. They just make good products.
Awfully neighborly.
They just make good product.
It's good product.
It's good
the first
product.
Time I saw No Name, I believe that. The first time I saw No Name brand, I had to ask what the name of it was.
It's No Name.
Like, no, that's
No Name
it's
brand.
just that. And maybe it's just me overthinking everything.
Smell this. Smell this.
You know, it smells.
You have to put
pink.
your nose close to the camera. You have to put. Smell it. You smell it? It's pink lemonade.
Boogie Check 2020 says it smells pink. Man, you are not kidding. You are vibing.
I am vibing. How did you know?
Yeah, I can fucking tell.
How did you know?
Tell, my dude. Yeah. What was that Absolute you were sipping on?
Dude, I'm a vodka man.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Cheers.
Okay. So
I'm putting the lemonade on the ground.
Just make sure Lula doesn't get into it.
She'll
no kitty accidents.
Listen, she's her own cat. If she wants a little pink lemonade, she knows. Listen, I think animals know more. Animals know more than they let on. All right, right?
Absolutely.
Animals know more than they let on.
They're fucking devious. And nobody will ever believe you.
If she wants to drink some pink lemonade, I'm going to let her drink some pink lemonade. She knows what's good for her and what's bad for her. She's not stupid, okay? Give her a little credit. Give her a little credit.
I'll give Lula as much credit as she has earned, and so far it's a trustable amount of that.
Delicious, by the way.
I believe that. No name brand, you say?
No name brand. The one with the yellow label.
Yeah.
I also buy their cheese.
They paid no one for that.
I buy their cheese. I buy.
They have dairy in
I buy their sour cream. I buy their. I buy if there's something I'm buying and I see it has a no name brand, I will buy that one.
Does Jeff Bezos own no name?
I fucking hope not.
Who owns No Name?
Probably
Carlos Slim.
I hope the people do. You know, that's what I really want the answer to be, but I don't know. But I want the answer to be the people.
You always want it to be the people, because if it's not the people, then who is it?
It's the few. The few versus the many, Doc.
You're George Soros.
This is the battle of our time. The few versus the many. The 1%.
And you got to vote with your dollar. You got to vote with your dollar.
Money means more than people realize, and right now,
sadly,
it's very hard to make money. Also, it's very hard to get money out of people. Everybody's
unemployment.
Yeah. No, most people don't have enough money to even survive. So how can you expect them to spend money on something that they don't
And
need?
grandma,
You know?
well, I spend a lot of money on things I don't need.
That's why if you're watching this, please don't subscribe to our Twitch channel. Don't donate your money.
I
Don't-
couldn't ask in good conscience that
Exactly.
anybody give us money.
Exactly. Listen,
unless I
if
shared
you're
a chuckle with them for
if
some
you're in
reason.
that 1% and you're like, damn, these guys have a point, maybe subscribe, you know? Maybe toss us a few bucks on Patreon or what I don't know what this is. What are we doing here?
Patreon?
How does
Are
this
you
make
allowed to
money?
do that
How
in
does this
Canada?
make money? Do we make money?
You know,
Are
we
we a
start
business?
from the grassroots base model.
Are we a
where
business?
We're stepping in right here.
Is this a charity? Do we do this for free? I don't think we should be doing this for free.
I think we have to partner with Twitch first. I think we have to partner with Twitch first.
I think we're too good for them. I think they.
You're a very good lad, Silver Doubloons, the famous pirate.
I think they should come to us, and we shouldn't have to go to them. You know what I mean?
I feel that way about most things, and then that way I don't feel very prideful, or over prideful, I should say. You know,
dude, I kid. Twitch actually is I love Twitch. I'm not afraid to say it. I do get a lot of
free content from them.
I love YouTube. I love Twitch. I think they're both actually really platforms that have given me so many hours of entertainment, so much and they ask for so little in return. If I'm being honest, you know, I have to watch a pre-roll ad on Twitch once in a while. You know, I joke about it being inconvenient. I joke about it being frustrating. Honestly, Twitch is a platform where you can just watch other people play video games, and I think that's a fucking wholesome thing. I think that's a fun thing. I think that's a thing that if somebody tells me that they do, I don't judge them for it. I think, hey, that's cool. You watch people play video games. Video games are fucking cool. Who doesn't like watching some video games? You know, Twitch is a cool platform. Twitch is a cool platform, and I think YouTube is too. YouTube is basically just like, here's some shit I'm interested. I'm putting it out there. If you find my interest in it interesting, then we might vibe, you know?
Absolutely.
That's what we're doing.
That if we ever do actually partner with Twitch, you should be the one that talks to them, because I'm going to slip a pussy fart in there or something like that. I just know it.
I think they need a pussy fart, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think we have to be those guys.
So
we can't censor ourselves. Like, if we start censoring ourselves, you know what I mean?
I would say
everybody who censors themselves, what happens?
If I was going to say pussy fart, I would say queef. Pussy fart.
What happens to people who censor themselves? They ain't themselves, are they?
They're silent. I don't know. I don't talk a lot.
They're not themselves. If you censor yourself, you're not being real.
You're not wrong. I'm going to work on that. If I ever find a job again, I'm going to work on that. That being said, what I had monologued about for 45 seconds was my poor life decision. And in this case, what I had said it was, was just so I can get mine out of the way quick, because I want to hear yours. I'm always more interested in yours, okay?
Oh, interesting.
Mine, which kind of has to do with mine. I went to school for psychology. I graduated, and then, now I work in fucking tech support. Well, I don't work anywhere at the moment because India took my job. Sorry, a French-owned company, they outsources to India. So I regret going to school. I think I would have found stand-up comedy like way faster. I would have held my shitty 9-to-5 job, or started like a second job, like working at Quick Trip or gas stations, and just dealing with people, because that's all I do, and that's all I want to do, the stand-up. So I regret going to school. That was a poor life decision on my part, if you ask me.
Did you learn how to learn?
I learned how to pass a class without going to it. That's what I learned in college.
That's not a very useful skill in real life, if I'm being perfectly honest.
It sounds kind of shady if you ask me.
Right. Fuck. School is my grandma always says that education is the one thing they can never take from you. she's had a lot taken from her in her life, so she knows a thing or two about that. But
Yeah.
she's not wrong. Education
Yeah.
is
It's important.
and if you learn something, that's something you have with
Yeah.
you forever. That's like a muscle you can always flex. You never, they say you never forget how to ride a bike, right?
Yeah, I can still do that.
Right. Once you have something built into your muscle memory, you have
Yeah.
it for the rest of your life.
Jesus. That's why I'm afraid to learn to kill.
You should be, I think.
I am. I'm afraid I'd be good at it. But sorry, your grandma was saying that it's important to have. What did your grandma have taken away from her?
My grandma. Well, she's in the process of losing her. Well, I'll be honest, her life right now. She's 90.
Oof. Yeah.
She's 93, turning 94 in December, I believe.
Yeah. Jesus.
She's very, very old and very but she's
up there.
She's got so much in her, and she's honestly the toughest woman I know. I say she's in the process of losing her life, and I mean,
how does she feel about it? Have you talked to her about it?
I have, and her perspective on this has changed. She's a woman of. I never think that people aren't capable of change. No matter how old you are, no matter what you've been through. A year ago, when a couple of years ago, when her husband passed, was the hardest probably time in her life, and she lost.
Husband?
Yeah, my grandfather. She lost the person she had been with for, I want to say, what was it, 55, 60? I don't remember. It was a lot of years.
It's a lot of years. Yeah.
A lot of years. And it was like
3 years is a lot for me.
He took care of everything, she couldn't live there anymore because he took care of so much that she was not capable of, so she had to change where she was living. She had to upend her whole life changed in an instant, and she lost the person she had been close to for so long. And yet she hung on. And she's still with us. She gets visited by her family all the time. She loves it. She's such a strong woman, honestly, that I have a lot of respect for her, and I've learned a lot from her, honestly. She's tough. She's the embodiment of never give up, never surrender. The Spartan way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had she said anything about when it does end? Has she spoken about that much?
She has, but it was when she was more like right after her husband passed. She was in a very dark spot. And,
for sure.
I won't repeat specifically anything she said for confidentiality.
Nothing you're not comfortable with. Yeah.
But like she was definitely in a dark spot then, and that was. But time, as we say, heals all wounds.
I keep hearing that. Yeah.
I think in your 90s, you're ready. You're ready for the end. It's coming at some point. You're living on board. If you're in your 90s, I think you're acutely aware that you're living on borrowed time. You're
Jesus, yeah.
And I don't like to, but I don't like to make that sound. But like if you're over 90, it's like it's right around the corner. It's at some point,
for sure.
You can't you don't outrun it forever. So I think she was acutely aware of that, and she was ready. She was ready, dude. But
wait, has she left us?
No. She's still with us to this day, and
okay.
I'm extremely thankful for that, because she is she is an incredibly strong woman, incredibly good to her family, incredibly knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And she has great stories that she tells all the time. She tells news stories that I haven't heard before all the time. She's
Hopefully
always
she's somewhere.
Yeah, and like I think she's she's probably, her and my grandfather are where I get my wholesome side from.
Sure, yeah.
I love it. I
Something I
feel
don't
like
have.
you don't have a wholesome side. Have you
I
never known
try not
anyone?
to.
Have you never known anyone wholesome?
You?
They say you are the people you hang out with.
Well, I don't know. Me and Jesus are pretty cool. We don't talk to each other a whole lot.
Do you talk to
I
him?
don't know if that makes me wholesome or not.
Do you talk
I
to him?
yell at his dad a lot.
What do you say?
Mainly, no. Nothing. He says nothing. There are no words exchanged. There's changes in light in the room with me.
I hope you elaborate. You don't have to, but
I'm afraid it's like my superpower, where if I tell you what my superpower is, it doesn't work anymore.
My concern is I don't understand.
Yeah, that's the way that I like to keep it with most people.
Okay,
Because
that's
then
fine.
the more
That's
I
fine.
talk about it, the more they're like, this guy's kind of fucking crazy.
I respect
It's just
that, and
like,
I
dude,
hope, I hope that I can learn enough about you that I'll understand in time.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's the metaphysic, like the above normal, like semi paranormal. That's where I stop talking to people, because then people are just like, this guy's fucking crazy. And it's just like, I don't know.
Do you think I would judge you? Do you
Everybody
think
judges everybody to an extent, but
I think
I don't think
that
you would judge me on this particularly.
so yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on this if you want to elaborate, and if you don't, that's fine too. Well,
Well, okay, so light is good, darkness is bad. If I
sure.
see light, I assume that what I'm asking for is more right than it is wrong, right?
If you see light, you assume that what you're
Mhm.
asking for is more right than it is wrong.
Yes, in this scenario. It
Okay,
might
and when you say light, you mean like
mainly
tell me what you
sunlight.
mean. Sunlight.
Sunlight.
Okay. So you're
Sometimes
the
it's
type
changes in the electricity.
so you don't like make so would you be somebody who like would you say you don't make decisions at night because you're not acutely aware of like you're not content with your surroundings, like do you only make decisions during the day? What does that mean for you?
I still make decisions at night. I mean, I'm kind of nocturnal at this point. I tend to sleep through my days, but when I'm awake during them, sometimes I have questions that keep repeating over and over and over and over again in my head, and I'll ask that out loud. And sometimes I'll get a response based on the amount of light that I witness coming in or out of the windows, I'll say.
Wow.
At night, at, at night, it's more electricity based, and that scares me because I think that that could be coming from the good or the bad.
So you don't trust light that's not natural.
I take electricity with a grain of salt.
So yeah, so natural. So I think it would be fair to say that you trust natural light more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I understand that.
Praise the sun.
Praise the sun, dude. Dark Souls. I'm a gamer. By the way,
I'm trying to be a Dark Souls
way, what up, gamers? Gamers. What up, gamers?
I hate the fucking air horn sound unless it's a real air horn and I can just hold it down.
I'm a gamer.
I'm also a gamer.
Do you think there's anything to be ashamed of in calling yourself a gamer?
No, I don't. But that's just me. A lot of people have had other points of view on this.
I was looking on the internet the other day, and I was looking at a lady's dating profile, and she said,
Sure.
"Adults who play games, I'm over it. I don't want them in my life."
Did she mean like mind games, or did she mean video games?
I'm pretty sure she meant video games. The way it was phrased, I could try to find her profile again, but I'm pretty sure the way it was phrased, I'm confident she was talking about video games.
Okay,
Men who play games or something like that.
stay at home and don't spend a lot of time at the bar, the titty bar, or any other kind of bar.
Right?
Yeah, they're
Fr-
homebodies.
frugal entertainment, dude. Sometimes I've paid like $20 for a video game, and I've gotten
Sure.
hundreds of hours of entertainment out of it.
I've had a few of those.
Dude, yeah. It's gamers are frugal. Gamers have great reaction time. Gamers have great
They do.
hand-eye coordination.
They do.
Gamers have good attention to detail. They have,
I do notice a lot more.
Here's the thing about games. You know
than
that
most.
you know how baby kittens like fight each other and play and roll around? They're playing
Yes.
they're gamers.
They're doing
cats
the form
are
of gaming.
Cats are nature's gamers.
Yeah.
Dude, they're nature's gamers. Look.
Do you think cats say a lot of gamer words?
I don't think so. I think cats are
Okay.
I think cats are pretty wholesome. But yeah, they're fighting, they're battling each other. They sneak up they sneak up on their parents, and their parents pretend to be extra shocked because they're fucking they want to encourage their kids. Yeah, you got me. Fuck, you snuck up on me, dude. I'm fucking scared as shit. I'm scared as shit, dude. Cats
pretty wholesome.
Cats are fucking awesome. Cats are gamers. Listen, gaming. You know what gaming is? You know what gaming is, Doc?
Tell me, Dad.
It's learning. Games are how we learn.
You're not wrong.
Games are how we learn.
Wrong.
Gamers are lifelong learners, I think. And lifelong learners are people who want to improve over time. They want to continue learning throughout their life. I think gamers are great. I love gamers. If somebody tells me they're a gamer, I instantly think you're somebody who's capable of learning.
The people I do hang out with are all gamers.
I love
outside
gamers.
Of comedians, most of us don't get along very well.
Love gamers. If you tell me a gamer, that tells me a lot about you. And you know, there's some negative stereotypes about gamers, and I think I think that's a real shame. Is what I was saying. Like,
what's a negative stereotype?
I think a negative stereotype about gamers is first of all, they're misogynistic. That's a very common one about gamers.
Well, pimps up, hoes down, first of all, but
but I think.
Hey, I like ladies
We're gamers.
more than I like any other. I like ladies more than I like myself. It's kind of a problem.
I like people. You know, that's my favorite thing. I don't care what you got between your legs. I don't care what you got on your chest. I like people.
JQ.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah. People. Well, an argument could be made that I enjoy people because I work in customer service. Well, I don't work in anything right now. I work in sleeping on my floor because it's warm. But I still enjoy helping people. So, yeah, I guess I kind of get that. Enjoying people.
People are so cool if you give them a chance. Listen, everybody in the world... everybody in the world knows something you don't, right?
Yeah, I try to find one thing I like about everybody.
Exactly. If you can learn something from everybody you meet. It doesn't matter who they are, where they come from, what language they speak. Everybody in the world knows something you don't know, and you can always learn something from them. And I think that's a beautiful thing to keep in mind when you meet new people. I think that's a way you can connect with other people, because people love teaching things too, right? Like if you have something that you're passionate about, don't you want to share that with somebody else?
Well, don't mansplain to me what other people enjoy about me. First of all,
you tell me.
But yes, I agree. I agree fully. I have nothing to say. Just don't mansplain it to me. That's all I have to say.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, I didn't ask for an apology. I feel that it's great that you apologized, and I appreciate that apology.
I like apologizing. You know what? I really do.
You know what?
If I find a chance to apologize, I take it and I run with it, because apologizing always makes me feel better.
Yes. I mean, yeah. As a robot, I kind of feel like just saying the words is better than not saying them. But I also kind of see it as like needless and like. But if you don't do that, people think you're cold and a robot.
Right, and I don't think you would judge me either way, but it still
I
makes me. It
no,
still make
I don't judge
it's
you.
apologizing is selfish. I do it to make myself feel good.
Never thought of it that way. Apologizing is selfish.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. Well, before I forget, before we continue with apologizing being selfish, which I think I get where you're coming from on that. But what was your poor life decision? You were talking about your grandma, but I don't know if that.
Yeah, I don't really know if I got into that. What was that?
Yeah. My bad.
No. Let's talk about some poor life decisions I made.
Just
So,
one.
oh, just one. Okay.
Uh, yeah.
Well, this
Let's,
one is kind of two because it's the same
sure.
poor life decision, but in two different situations.
Examples
So
are good. Help me learn.
this is really embarrassing. This one is super embarrassing
Oh,
for me because
okay.
I made the same mistake twice, which I try not to
Sure.
do.
Same.
But I think this was, I don't know. I think this was something that I don't know why I didn't learn the first time, but so I was talking to you a little bit about this in DMs.
Oh,
But I had the last two women I was with, the last two girlfriends I was with.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
the relationship ended because I was suicidal, and that happened
okay.
twice. Like this should have been something that I learned the first time, and I don't really know why I didn't. It's like have you heard that like in abusive relationships, a woman will go back to the
Mm-hmm.
man like an average number of times before she finally gets out of the relationship.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's like definitely I can't remember what it was, but it was greater than one.
For
Um,
sure. Absolutely.
I feel like I'm somebody who maybe a measure of intelligence is how many times you need to make a mistake before you learn. You know what I
It's a
mean?
measure. Sure.
And
Yeah.
for me, it's often greater than one, which is something I'm embarrassed about. Like I would love to be a person who only needs to make a mistake once in order to avoid it again for the rest of my life. I think that's a noble thing to aspire to. But
Sure.
I
Yeah.
try to live my life in that way. But in the past, I
Good
definitely
things
have.
in threes, I hear.
Sure, but in the
Yeah.
past, I've definitely been somebody who's made the same mistake several times. So I was in two separate relationships,
Yep.
and they both basically kind of follow the same path. We met
Sure.
online. We
Mm-hmm.
kind of fell into fast love. We
Sure.
both moved in really quickly. Started building a life together, kind of probably too fast before we really got to know one another. Got to hang out with one another. We ended up both times sharing living spaces,
Yeah.
and it was too much for me. If I'm being perfectly honest, it was like
What about it was too much?
I feel like I had to give up what I was to kind of fit into their idea of what they wanted me to be. Like I love I I have a secret, Doc.
Okay. Okay.
I want to share it with you.
You want to share it with the world?
I love my life.
Okay.
I love
That's not a bad secret to have.
It's not a bad secret at all. I really really enjoy the way my life is set up right now. I enjoy
That's a good
having
thing.
yeah, I enjoy having I have a place to my own. I have my
Yeah.
own little zone. I know that everywhere in here is kind of my zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love I love being with my cat and having this relationship with my cat where I spend a lot of time with her. She's kind of my baby. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
how much freedom I have and how much I really I have my days laid out in a specific way that I really enjoy, and I'm so thankful and I'm so happy to be where I am right now in life.
That's
And
good.
I think like I'm always acceptable to change, and I'm always acceptable to new ideas and new customs and new traditions and that sort of thing. But when things change too much for me, I think that's something
Sure.
where I feel like I get pushed into a corner and my life is changing too much and I don't. So what happened in both of these relationships was, and this is no fault of the person that I was in the relationship with, this is really
Sure.
the fault of my own. I changed too much at once. I built my life entirely around that person, and
Yeah.
we kind of started being a unit instead of individuals. And I think there's definitely benefits to that. Being a
For
unit,
sure.
being a unit is like you have somebody you can rely on, you can have somebody you can count on. They'll always
Yeah.
be there for you. Their love is
You hope.
unconditional. That
You hope.
is, that is, you're one. You're together. But there are
Yeah.
also drawbacks to that, and the drawbacks are that you lose a part of your individuality, and you
Yeah.
lose some of your um you lose a bit of yourself and become a part of somebody else, and that's cool too. But like there's
Yeah.
I did too much of it too fast, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like I had changed to somebody that I didn't want to be, but I felt stuck in that situation and I didn't know how to get out of it. And it was I mean it's really embarrassing how I dealt
Um,
with it, if I'm being honest.
what's the most embarrassing thing about it? I mean, you said it. You said you were suicidal.
Yes.
Like,
So I think my way of getting out of the relationship was I didn't want to just say to the person, "Hey, I think it would be better if we split paths. I think it would be better if we didn't combine so much of our lives together. I think it would be better if we were individuals instead of a unit." I didn't want to
sure.
say that because I felt like I had already signed up for that path. So I felt like my path from then on was I couldn't go backwards because I would be admitting that I was a liar. I was admitting that I had told them I wanted a life together, but when I
Yeah.
realized what a life together looked like, I realized that I didn't want that. So what I really was I was a liar. I said I wanted something that I really didn't want because I didn't understand what it was that I was saying at the time. So I was kind of like retroactively a liar. So I wanted to both be true to my word, but also not live the life I was living. And so I think the logical next step for me was, instead of ending the relationship, if I died, that would be both an end of the relationship and a
It would.
it sounds insane, but this is how
No.
this is how my logic was working at the
Your
time.
logic is flawless, my man.
It feels
would
like
end the relationship if you died.
it feels like the way I'm explaining it like now is in retrospect
Well,
makes
yeah.
sense, but
Sure.
I should have thought ahead. This was my problem at the time. I didn't understand what I was jumping into. And so
Yeah.
my solution was I should kill myself. Because hey, I don't have to end the relationship, but I get to solve the problem, which is my unhappiness with the way my life is going. So I was suicidal, and in both
Yeah.
situations I confessed that to the person that I was with, and I think they kind of took it in a weird way, but
Yeah.
I don't expect I don't really expect a rational response to that kind of thing. So it's
To
not
most
something
people, suicide is not rational.
it's not something
To most.
it's not something I hold against them or anything like that.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
so it is what it is, and that's yeah, that was my personal one of my worst life decisions, and I learned a lot from it. I learned that a relationship is not supposed to be a codependency. A relationship is supposed to be union of two people who are individuals who work to make each
Yes.
other's lives better. And it's,
Yeah.
it's fucking, it is what it is. I'm ashamed of it, and
Have you
there's
done
the-
it since?
have I done it since? No. Well, I mean, it was
Yeah.
two relationships.
In a row?
Yeah.
Okay. The one after that though, did you do that again? Because it
There
sounds like you
hasn't-
didn't.
There hasn't been a one after that.
That's good. It's ended in another way.
Right. So right now I'm just kind of doing my own thing. I'm trying to figure out life. Like I'm like one of my favorite things about you, Doc, and by the way, Doc, I love you so much.
I love you too, Silver Doubloons, the famous pirate.
I really mean that. Like I'm so
do too.
I'm so thankful to have you as a friend, and I think you're a fantastic guy.
Stop it.
I'm with you and with some of my other friends. I'm learning how to make a real relationship, and I think this is the thing that's going to help me the most in the future if I ever decide to try to enter the dating world again. Now, if I can be in a good healthy relationship with you, why can't I do it with a woman? So this is why I really want to build you and I's friendship. I want to really work on all of the friendships with everybody I have around me, because I think that's a healthy way to learn how to have a relationship with anybody, be it male, female, be it romantic, sexual, be it platonic, whatever. I think you can practice for all of those things with any kind of relationship. So I'm very thankful to have you as a friend, and I'm so thankful we do this. We do this podcast every week. I think this is cathartic. This is therapy, and I'm glad to be here.
I'm also glad to be here, from the bottom of my heart.
From the bottom of my heart.
Robot heart.
Clink.
I mean it. Hey, Clinky.
Clink.
Clinky.
Oh, I knocked my glass so hard down on the table it moved my camera.
Oh, that's fine. I noticed, but I didn't say anything.
Dude, you want to vibe for a bit?
Are we about to vibe?
Hang on.
Is this copyright infringement?
I don't think this guy. I don't think this guy. There's no way this is copyrighted, right?
I don't know. Oh no.
Listen, if it's copyright, we'll deal with the fallout, okay? We'll get lawyers. We'll get the best lawyers, okay?
I can't hear it, but I see the cat, and that's all I needed.
We'll get the best lawyers. We'll get them on the case, okay?
I've had one experience with lawyers, and honestly, the only thing that came from it was I could probably do better without a lawyer.
Wow.
That was my experience. And I think I might
Dude, I love this song. Thank you so much for sending it to me.
The Leak Girl song is amazing. I think it has an actual name, but I refuse to call it by anything but the Leak Girl song. And this cat vibing to this man playing it on the sidewalk is delightful. I have nothing but positive feelings for everything involved here.
I think we should get that. We should find that drum on Amazon and learn this song.
I don't know if I'm synced with the song. I'm just.
Hey, now that I said it on air, I think we have to do it for real, or the people will be angry. By the time we get to the 5th episode, the comments will be like, "Where's the drum, guys? It should have arrived by now." What kind of drum do you think that is? Is there a name for it?
Lap drum, maybe.
Lap drum.
Lap drum, dude. It looks like a lap drum.
It probably is a lap drum, dude.
You once you get to the basic instrument of the drum, and you have to simplify it down to something. It's not quite a bongo. I mean,
it's not quite a bongo. I think it's more than a bongo.
I think it might be more of a drum. Seated for the lap. I think it might be a lap drum. This fucking cat vibing to it.
I love the cat. It's not the same without the cat.
It's not, because I tried watching the video without the cat. Sorry for cussing, but without the cat is just not the same. It's not the same.
This guy has talent, by the way. I noticed that, like, in the video, nobody's really stopping to, like... Well, there's a few people in the background that are kind of stopping to listen to him, but this guy deserves credit, dude. I think he's got real talent. And he's practiced this. Look at the way his hands move. Look at the way his fucking wrists move. He's got...
Dude, he's got the thumb twist.
He's got everything going on. He's got the...
He's playing the shit out of the fucking lap drum, let me tell you.
This ain't his first rodeo. He knows what he's doing.
He's played the lap drum more than once.
And the thing is,
he may have practiced.
The camera, by the way, notice it is not moving. So probably not. He doesn't have somebody recording this. He just has it like sitting on another bench that's opposite him, right? He's alone. He doesn't have.
Alone?
I think he's alone. I think he's alone.
I think that aren't there people clapping at the end of it? I shortened it to like 244, so it just keeps looping over and over again.
I have not. I didn't know.
One of the things that you can do to point out an autistic person is if they listen to the same song over and over and over again.
That's how kids listen to songs, by the way. Like every single kid. Kids listen to songs over and over.
Turns out we were all autistic all along.
Yeah, I think autism, by the way. Fake news.
You think it's fake news?
I'm listen. There's a level. I was diagnosed. Listen. So okay, I'm sure there's autism in like in the sense that there's kids who have like really serious problems with communication, with understanding people, that kind of thing. I think the autism pandemic. Let's call it. Let's call it that.
Let's call the pandemic right now.
The autism pandemic. I think it's a little bit overblown. I think not everybody has autism, okay? Not everybody has autism. I don't think you're autistic.
You don't think this cat has autism?
I don't think that cat has... I was diagnosed with autism. I don't think I have autism. I think I just had... I think I was just raised a little bit strangely. I think I didn't learn some things that I was supposed to learn until I was way older. I think
stunted
that...
growth, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Autism, stunted growth. Maybe there's some overlap in that Venn diagram, you know?
There might be some overlap in the Venn diagram. But
dude, there's definitely people clapping.
I don't think that makes you any less of a person.
I don't think so either. I'm
244, but I'm worried about it being copyrighted.
Listen, we've gone this far. We might as well keep vibing. Well, I'll turn it up. We don't have to vibe. We vibed for quite a while.
I love vibing
too.
What most people are doing is anytime music is playing, they mute all the audio. So it's just them sitting there like bobbing their heads in the background.
I love music, but I also do that sometimes because it's hard to listen to music and understand people talk for me because of my hearing issues.
Yeah.
But
you do have some hearing aids.
But I love music. That was really fun watching a movie with everybody tonight. We watched what was it, Borat?
Borat 1, yeah.
What did you think of that movie, by the way?
I saw that movie twice in the theaters when it came out. I love that movie. I think it says a lot about the culture of America. And I know for a fact that the city that he filmed in absolutely hates him.
Okay.
I watched a documentary on that. They are not a fan of Borat.
You and me,
Sure.
We're
Yes.
we're Borat, and what was his manager's name?
Azamat.
Okay,
Something.
we're Borat and Azamat.
Shit.
Which one of us is Borat, and which one of us is Azamat?
I'll be Azamat. Wait,
Really,
I
you think
probably
I'm Borat?
should I be in front of the camera? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like you're more photogenic than I am. I think you're I think you're a very handsome man, Doc.
I think you're a very handsome man. Silver Doubloons, the
Well,
famous pirate.
thank you very much. But I genuinely think you have a you have a good
I have
face.
a
You have a face
demeanor.
for camera. You have a face for the camera.
Yeah, but I don't have a demeanor for the camera.
I think you do. I think you do. Why are we doing this if you don't have a demeanor for the camera? Why are we doing this? Answer me that.
I agreed to put my face on camera.
Is that it?
That's it. Nothing about this. Well, like, okay. When I go out into public, I get a lot of stares, and it's never like a warm, inviting stare. It's always just like, is this guy gonna take my wallet? Why is he? What's he doing?
Really?
Yeah.
People. You think people are suspicious of you?
Yes.
Do you think now that you've said that out loud? Do you think that's?
I've said it out loud a lot.
Do you think it's? Do you think there's an element of paranoia there?
Oh yeah.
Do you think you're
But
kind
you
of?
know, I developed it real early on.
So do you think people are honestly thinking that, or do you think that's your mind's way of tricking you into like being
Um,
uncomfortable?
I always assume the best.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope for the best. I kind of assume the worst, but like when I see people, you know, like it's a thing you pay attention to is the way that people are looking around the room, and sometimes you notice that they're looking at you, and then you can recognize emotions on their face like fear or uncomfort or like just like wild-eyed panic, and it's just like I know you're looking at me, and it's making me nervous because it's like, why do you think something bad is about to happen? That's generally my experience going out into public is like me sitting and being like, I'm here, and then I look around the room, and then everybody's nervous that I'm there.
See, when I look at you, I like the first thing I think of you when I see you is a good boy. You look like a good boy to me.
You and Grandma would agree.
Right. You look like somebody who's just a friendly character who's there to get along, who's you look
Sometimes I
very
get mean when I drink too much whiskey.
you look very the perfect adjective for you for you is
Sure.
approachable.
Yeah, people do share a lot with me too. They're either entirely afraid or they overshare.
I think you're very approachable. I think I talk with you more than I talk with anybody else, and I talk
Sure, sure.
usually deeper stuff with you.
Well,
I think I really
people tend to overshare with me.
you say people tend to overshare with you. Why do you say that?
Well, you know, it's okay for most people.
Monologue for a bit. I'll
Well,
still hear you. I'm urinating though.
oh, sure. That's a good thing to do. I was thinking about that myself. Well, you know, I say people overshare with me. We'll be talking, and then they'll always like not preface it, but they'll bookend it with like, I feel really comfortable around you. Not a lot seems to shock you, and it'll be things like, uh, your with your first story, Silver. You said that you pretended to be hurt. You fell off a swing, and your mom felt. Uh, you felt bad about it. She didn't feel necessarily anything. Beyond she was worried about you and you're fine, and then it was fine. Whereas I would be like, well, one time my mom like diddled herself in front of me, and then the second time she did it, she smiled at me, and I didn't know what to do besides leave the room. So it's like, yeah, it's fine that you have, you know, shit stuff that happened to you. You fell off the playground and pretended to be hurt. Whereas, like, I left the room because I didn't know how to respond to the stimulus inside the room.
I have a lot of privilege, and I try to recognize that. I do.
As somebody who passes for white, I think I also have a lot of privilege.
From what you're telling me from your upbringing,
Sure.
you know, I guess I think of privilege as like, how do I want to put this? Give me a second to think about this.
Sure, take your time. I'm gonna vibe.
Privilege is like a free lunch. You know? We have a saying down here in the 99%, there's no such thing as a free lunch. You know?
Yeah.
Some people get a free lunch. I've had a few free lunches in my time, is what I'm saying.
Me too.
Um,
Like, oh, I didn't have to buy the meal for the middle of the day today.
that is nice, you know?
It's not bad, that's for sure.
We're very fortunate people, you know?
Living in a first world country or two.
At the end of the day, you know, we have it better than most.
Yes.
We do.
Oh, for sure. I have a hard time disagreeing as I look at my 2 gecko cages and my nice warm room. Yes.
We have to be thankful for what we have.
I can still afford my apartment.
Life's not so bad.
I'm still here.
That's the number one thing, dude.
Yes.
We made it. Another 24 hours.
Looks like we made it.
Flip that calendar over another day, baby.
Metaphorical calendar. Don't waste paper, folks. Save the trees.
We only get so many flips, but everyone is a blessing.
We have a finite amount of time. Make sure you're spending it the way that you want to spend it.
How do you want to spend your time?
I just want to make people laugh.
I love that, dude. Isn't that like the best feeling?
Yeah. It really is.
Making somebody smile when we live in such a depressing world.
Fuck. You're not wrong.
It's the best thing.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Denmark had to exterminate all those minks.
I did not hear that.
Denmark's economy. Well, okay, sorry. 70% of the world's mink economy, mink fur, the fur trade comes out of Denmark. And Corona got into the minks and then mutated. And then they exterminated like an entire population of minks in Denmark because of it.
Rip. F in the chat. F in the chat.
Yeah. You know, honestly, that's about what I felt for it. Like, some people are like, oh my god, that's terrible. And it's just like, yeah, well, maybe don't fucking wear mink fur then. Maybe it's warm as fuck. I don't know. I've never worn mink. Bet it's tasty. Probably a little chewy, but other than that.
I've never had much. Have you had like? I've never really had much exotic meat. I guess. I'm pretty much a cow, pork, chicken guy.
Buffalo is nice. Wild boar is fucking delicious. Like,
wow.
Yeah. Don't go to Mississippi for Christmas.
Did you kill that motherfucker yourself? With a spear
No,
you crafted from a stick and a rock and a string?
Jesus, no. There was no dick rock string. Jesus God. No,
Stick!
fuck. No. Like, you go to a restaurant, you get a buffalo burger or a bison burger, or you go to
Never seen
Mississippi
that
for
at a restaurant.
Christmas.
Never seen that
You've
at a
never,
restaurant.
you live in
Nova
the
Scotia.
upper,
Do
yeah,
you get lobster where you are? We have lobster up here.
I try not to eat sea bugs. They live where we throw our trash.
I mean, is there any... Where do we not throw our trash?
Have we thrown it into the sun yet? Can we eat the sun?
There was that episode of Futurama where they do that.
They ate the sun?
No, they sent like a rocket full of garbage to the sun.
That's why I was thinking about that.
There was like
Didn't,
a problem.
there
was like a problem where there was too much trash on the street or something. So the mayor of New York or something said like, "Let's send a rocket full of trash to the sun," and so they did that. And I think it blew up into a cloud or something, and then the cloud became a problem. I don't remember the premise of the episode beyond that, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I remember Sexlexia.
Sexlexia? Do you want to tell me about that? Because I don't remember that.
It's just Zap Brannigan from that show.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sexy learning disability that he had.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Dude, can this just be a Futurama podcast?
There's a lot to talk about that a lot of people have talked about already, but we can, Nibbler's shadow was in the first episode of Futurama.
Of course I know that. Everybody who knows Futurama knows that. Come on. Do you want to play a game based entirely on video? They call it a video game. Do you remember that scene where Fry was fucking bouncing around, fucking blasting people with his fucking laser guns? Do you remember that scene?
Jesus.
Get fucked, he said in one scene, and then he was like, "Get fucked." I don't think
Fry said that. I don't think Fry said that.
He pointed to another person. He said, "Get fucked," and he shot them all in the fucking domes with his laser pistols.
Jesus. No.
Get fucked.
I don't remember that. I don't think that happened, Silver Doubloons. I don't think that happened. He may have bounced around with twin laser pistols, doling out justice one pew at a time, but I don't think that he said get fucked. I think that's a little below Matt Groening. Ever so slightly.
It's not below me. When I get my cartoon, dude, there's gonna be a scene where somebody's doling out justice, and they're just like, "Get fucked, and they're just shooting people. They're just shooting people in the head,
If somebody's doling out justice in the name of Silver Doubloons, I wouldn't question anything that they said out loud.
There's a sheriff in my Dungeons and Dragons world named Sheriff Roxon. He would be great for this scene.
Bring him out. Bring Sheriff Roxon out.
Sheriff Roxon was the grandson of the Mason who lived in the Den, the town at the central heart of the northeastern part of the cat-owned island of Niao. It was called Niao because I thought meow would be too obvious, so I changed the M to an N.
Are they all Khajiit?
Basically, yeah. They're just humanoid. They're humanoid. No, there is Nip. There is Nip. They love the Nip, dude.
They love the Nip, dude.
There's a town called Nipper's Den. It's to the northwest.
Does Nip Slip mean something different in Niao?
That's a great question, and it is now canonical that Nip Slip means an exchange of Nip for gold doubloons.
Oh, Jesus. Is this in the campaign that I'm involved in?
It is now, baby.
Oh, jeez. Is this tomorrow?
This is how it...
No, it's Saturday. So technically it's tomorrow.
Give or take.
Yeah. I'm okay. I'm going to take a pee break.
Okay, I'll
And
monologue for
I
a
might
bit.
put. Yes, please monologue. Please monologue.
He thinks I'm gonna monologue, but I'm actually just gonna vibe. This will teach him for giving me the responsibility of talking on my own. God, this guy. Somebody give him. Somebody fund this man. And this cat? I want to know his like Instagram handle. I want to subscribe or whatever you do on Instagram. Follow? How does that work? I'm learning Instagram. I post. I think I have 21 posts. They're all pictures of my cat. One was a picture of a previous cat I had named Rascal. I love that cat. Oh, this is a great idea for my log. I'll tell the story of Rascal, dude. Rascal was a cat I had. Well, let me start before she was a cat I had. Rascal was. I'm vibing, by the way. Rascal was a barn cat that lived next door in my grandparents' barn. I loved this cat. I would pet her every time I went down there. She was such a good kitty. I would give her huggins, give her scritchins. And eventually I developed such a relationship with Rascal that I asked her to come back and stay with me. And she would sometimes come up to our house. I would basically carry her up. And she would sleep in my bed and she would kind of spend the night there. But every time we would let her out the next time, she would go back down to the barn and that's where she would stay. And she wouldn't like come back or anything like that. So she went down to the barn and she lived down there for a while. And it was what it was. You know, I missed the kitty. But, you know, she was a barn cat and that was her life and that was what it was. And eventually, it got to the point where every night I was asking my mother to bring the cat to me because I couldn't sleep without the cat. I love this cat so much. I wanted her with me every night. But every day she would go back to the barn and she wouldn't want to, she didn't want to live with us. You know, it was pretty clear that we were welcoming her there, but she didn't want to be that kind of cat. So she went back to the barn every night. And that was fine, you know, but I was young and I was selfish and I wanted the cat to myself. And so I asked for the cat every night and my mother obliged. She was very sweet about it. And basically she went and got this cat so many times that I was really, really appreciative. So, but eventually one night she said to me, "Enough is enough, Brandon. This cat, I can't go down and get it every night. It's too much. If the cat wants to live in the barn, she'll live in the barn, and she just has to live she has to live her best life," is basically what she told me. And she told me this one night while we were out on the deck in front of the house, and I started crying, dude. I was bawling my eyes out. I was so upset. And you know what happened? The cat came up to the house. She ran up from the barn next door. She went right past me into the house. The door was open. She laid in my bed, and she was our host cat ever since, dude. That cat was Rascal, dude. Rest in peace, Rascal. What a fucking amazing cat that was.
Rascal lived in the house after this. Did she sleep every night with you?
Every night. She was the best cat in the world, dude. And her progeny is still out there. She had kittens.
Ooh.
And her kittens had kittens, and her kittens' kittens had kittens, and you know how it goes. So she's
Their
still...
kittens had 3 kittens, and their kittens had three kittens?
She's still alive and well out there in the world, and I wish her offspring well. and I think about her every now and then, and I love her very much.
Is Lula a progeny of them?
Negative.
Of Rascal?
Well, not as far as I know. You know, she was pretty promiscuous. If you know what I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many kittens
for all the other cats.
I don't know how many kittens she had before I got my hands on her, but she only had one batch of kittens, I believe. Maybe two. I think it might have been two. It might have been, now that I'm thinking about it might have been two batches of kittens that she had after I had her. So
sounds like a lot of kittens.
Hey, you know, Lula could be her great grandson. I'm sure they have some shared lineage, of course. That's how we all work,
Granddaughter.
Right? Do you know
Yes.
you and I are related if we go back far enough? I mean, look at us.
I'm a proud woman of color.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's like 5 degrees of separation between you and I.
Like
you know?
Kevin Bacon?
Like you only have to go back like 5 generations before we have a common ancestor or something. You think? Maybe 6? 6 is probably more realistic.
Yeah. Well, you know, half of my ilk is from the Germanic peoples, so
I don't know much about myself. I'm pretty sure my grandmother used to say she was German. Not my other grandmother, not the one I talked about earlier.
Oh, okay.
I have two.
That's the thing I never got. I grew up with many, but my mom was adopted a lot, so the blood ones, those are the important ones, right?
Blood?
The ones you're actually related to?
There's other kinds?
Step or like adoptive or, you know.
Okay. I think blood matters. I don't think blood matters that much. I think your family is what you make of it.
Yeah, I try to stay away from mine.
Yeah, and that's great. Like your family is who you make of it. Like are we family, Doc?
I think we could make that bridge.
I think you and I are family. We're part of like when I say family, I say like if I'm going through something in my life, you're definitely gonna know. I think if something big happens in my life, you're always gonna be somebody who I can confide in. That's what I mean. That's kind of what I mean by family.
Wow.
I think that means something that something different to everybody. Like honestly, Doc, I confide in you more than I confide in a lot of my blood relatives.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So your family is what you make of it. Doesn't matter whether you're blood related or not. It's what you make of it.
I get that. Yeah, I can agree to that. Yeah.
You know, you could you could ask me anything. You could tell me anything. You could if you ever needed anything, I know you would ask me. Right?
Yeah. If I thought that you were a viable place to go to ask for something, yeah.
That's family.
All I hear is the fucking Leak song.
Leak?
Yeah, dude, that's okay. Hold on.
Is this copyright?
Yes, but it's a cat song. It's a cat song. The song that guy's playing on the drum.
No way.
That's the Leak song.
Are you about to stream this?
I can definitely attempt it. I should probably put my glasses back on. I might actually be able to navigate without them for a second. Leak Spin song. Sorry.
Leak Spin.
Yeah.
The leek is the vegetable that Farfetch'd carries. All right, let's watch your stream.
Is that what Farfetch carries? Is the leek?
I think, right?
Oh, thanks.
Can you turn it up?
Dude, I'm gonna blast it.
Oh, this is it. Wait,
This is
what? This was a thing before that guy, or was that guy the thing before this?
That guy. Well, whatever the Levin Polka or whatever it is called. This is it. And yes, this happened. The leak spin girl came about before the cat and the guy.
What? I need to know. So now I need to know the entire like origin of this.
I don't know what to say other than this.
Okay, can we talk about something else for a second?
Yeah, let me pause. Let me
pause it, but don't stop streaming. Okay, you have 4 tabs of YouTube open. All of them have different numbers. You get a lot of YouTube notifications. What's that about? Can we talk about that for a second?
I don't get notifications so much.
What is the number
YouTube
then?
a lot. Well, this one says 160.
Yeah, they all have different numbers. There's like a margin of like.
Well, they're
7.
all part of. Ooh, pizza's done. They're all part of like the playlist that I'm currently watching in this. Like,
you have 9 plus notifications. Would you click on the notifications bell for me to show you what you have there? Oh,
Video
so
Game Donkey.
Oh, okay.
Gus Johnson.
I thought Kids. Got it. Okay, I thought I didn't. This is what they mean when they say click the bell, isn't it?
Get notifications. We got a new video.
Oh, okay. So I never click the bell. I
don't either. Well,
then how are you getting new notifications?
I subscribe.
Well, I subscribe, but I don't get the bell notifications. You must hit the bell too.
I've heard tell of this bell, but I've never clicked on any bell.
I've never clicked on the bell either, but I wonder why you get the notifications and I don't.
Is this a pop-up blocker question, or is this something to do with you being up in the Scotia?
I just don't get notifications. Like
I get them, but I don't look at them.
But you get a lot of them, is what I'm saying, and that's fine.
Probably because I never look at them.
But there's 4 different tabs open with 4 different numbers, which suggests to me that they come in regularly. I guess is my point. I'm guessing you're a guy.
Anybody who's got a YouTube channel, they're posting content because that's how you make your money. I hear.
Is this a thing?
Me doing this or
me doing this?
I was just doing this because I'm shiny and I'm getting my winter coat. Which is why I need to grab that pizza.
I'm out here vibing, dude. You do your pizza. I'll keep the masses entertained for a moment.
Keep the vibe alive, okay?
Keep
the vibe alive.
Let's check out his tabs. So he had 4 tabs open, all with different notifications. I don't know why. I think he clicks the bell. That must be what it is, because I've never clicked the bell and I don't get notifications. But he has so many notifications, and it all says like subscribe. This guy uploaded this video, so I think he clicks the bell. I don't know why he's being deceptive about the bell clicking. That's really confusing. What are the other tabs that are open? Jobs. Oh yeah, he's unemployed. Skill, trade. Yeah, more job stuff. Silicon. Oh, he's thinking of moving to Silicon Valley, maybe. Cat video. Yeah, he's looking at cat videos. That's fine. Dude, this is like this is pretty impressive. Here he comes. Look, Doc, I was just analyzing the tabs that you have open in the stream.
Yeah.
And I think I'm proud of you. I think it looks like you're looking for work. It looks like you're taking it seriously. It looks like you're trying to get yourself set up and give yourself as much opportunities as you can. I think
I opened some tabs a week ago and they continue to be opened. Yes, you're right.
No, that's not. There's no way, because you talk to me all the time about how much you restart your computer. You know your uptime. What's your uptime?
I do know my uptime.
You haven't had your computer open for a week, have you? You're being
No, but I can
you're exaggerating.
with Firefox. Mm-mm. With
You're
Firefox, you can reopen it. Can you see this?
Oh,
It should
yeah, I
be
can
up
see it.
here.
I can see
10 hours 47 minutes. That's how long my computer's been up.
it. Okay, so you had those tabs open forever. How come you don't close them?
Uh, marijuana.
That's that's legit for sure.
Oh.
239. One that was the whoa, that was a while ago. 339, 439.
Huh? What's going on now?
Where are you little at?
I'm not worrying currently.
How's that pizza?
Oh, it's decadent. Are you checking wall tabs? What's happening?
Listen, I did something and then I had to write it down.
Okay, right on. What'd you do?
Drugs. THC.
That's legal where you're at.
It is, and I like to write down when I take it so that I can more effectively
Very
gauge.
scientific.
I can more effectively gauge when I'm going to feel certain effects. So after you take THC, like it usually peaks about like an hour to an hour and a half after I ingest it. So I really like to know when I took it so that I can be kind of aware of that. So I always write it down whenever I take it.
It's very scientific. Very good to do.
I think
I like to keep up maintenance levels.
it also it also affects my memory. So in that case, I don't forget. I don't forget when last I took it, so that I don't overindulge. You know.
Do you have a whiteboard set up for this or something?
That's exactly what that is in the background. Yeah, you can see it in the background.
Oh damn! It's a little blurry, but yeah.
It's intentionally blurry because of the blurring.
Blur me, daddy.
Blur. Dude, this is the first time I've ever drank 2 nights in a row.
Ever?
Yeah, I think so. I'm usually my problem with alcohol is I usually overindulge. So when I do a little bit, I want to
I have that problem too.
I want to push it to like the absolute extreme because if I'm gonna, like my problem used to be if I'm gonna drink, I might as well go fucking ham and fucking get fucking wasted and get ripped until I can't fucking stomach anymore and I puke and it's fucking I'm glorious.
How else am I gonna get rid of all the food I ate?
Right. But what I've come to realize is that a kind of mellow middle ground is usually where the real magic happens and where where I usually enjoy it the most. So I really like when it comes to marijuana or when it comes to alcohol, I'm really comfortable just vibing.
That's a good way to be. I also prefer that. Vomiting, although very cathartic, does not really help out with any other things that I had planned for the next day or the day after.
I feel like your body does not want to vomit, and vomiting is like something's gone wrong if you've gotten to that point.
You got to keep the poison inside.
Right, like vomiting is your body's response to like, I have something inside of me that I want out. So I'm fucking, you know? So I feel like if he gets to the point where you're vomiting, then you've probably done something that was preventable. But also bad.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe not always, but...
I mean, it's usually bad. If you're drinking to throw up, something is not right.
Right. Did you know that in the Middle Ages in Europe, people
Well,
there were people that it was actually common for people to drink alcohol
hey,
more than water?
well, it's cleaner than water.
That's exactly the reason. You're very Doc,
I'm
you're actually very smart. How do you like you remember a lot. You have a really good memory, I think.
I try to act dumber than I am so the government doesn't notice me as much.
I also act dumber than I am. Mostly it's for comedic effect.
Oh, well, that's also a goal,
I do it a lot
but
with
mainly so the government
specifically
doesn't
yeah,
dissect me.
sure. I also like specifically with our friend Animal Chin.
Haha! Yeah.
I do that a lot cuz I know
What
it
do you mean?
well his thing is he finds it funny when he's kind of the king of the castle. He really likes that. So I like
He's
to
what they like to call an ale film male.
I like to make him feel that way because I think that he enjoys that.
I always treat him the same, but I kind of do that with everybody.
I love Animal Chin.
Ah, I do too.
Why are we smiling? I was not being ironic when I said I love Animal
I
Chin.
wasn't being ironic either. I love Animal Chin.
I legitimately love Animal Chin, and if you ever see this, cheers, my dude. Cheers to you, honestly. I really do unironically appreciate you as a friend, and I hope that we can be friends forever. Cheers.
I take this drink in the name of Animal Chin.
Here we go. I finished mine for him.
I I took half of mine because just because
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I feel like I took an entire drink for him though.
Cats vibe. What are some other animals that vibe? Would you say? Do you think lizards vibe? I think lizards vibe.
I think lizards do nothing but vibe.
Animals that don't
A weird.
bears vibe. They vibe the whole winter.
I'm working on that. That's why I dip my pizza in ranch dressing.
I'm kind of looking forward to winter. Not gonna lie.
Why
Winter.
that?
I think winter is when we get to like kind of shut our doors a little bit, and it's not so socially unacceptable to be indoors more, and it's kind of expected that people kind of spend more time online because it's cold outside and there's not as much to do. It's more of like it's a gamer's paradise is what I would say. As
Do you feel like
Coolio
you're
might
being judged when it's not winter out?
sometimes. I guess I kind of do feel that. Yeah.
Why? Because you don't go outside a lot?
Yeah. Well, I guess I do go outside a fair bit now, but I don't go outside to like I guess what I fear I'm judged for is not like socializing in person, which is not something I really ever do.
That usually costs money.
It's also like I don't know. I guess I'm trying to do it more. Like, as you know, I deal cards at card games for a living, and I
This guy's a
try.
dealer.
I try to. I'm really trying to talk more and be more involved in
Yeah,
the conversation. I find with my hearing, I find it really hard.
sure.
But when there's especially when there's like 3 or 4 people there before like the game really gets going, there's like 7 or 8 or 9 people there, then they're
Mhm.
all clinking their chips and they're all like there's like 3 or 4 conversations going. At that point I have no fucking idea what's going on and I'm just trying to keep everything sorted because there's 4 all-ins every hand and 3 side pots and everybody's fucking, talking about Trump versus Biden and there's a
Even
million
in
things to be
Canada?
talking about. But yeah. Oh, believe me, that's all people are talking about right now, even in Canada.
Are you guys as afraid as we are?
Oh, maybe more. We're concerned about you. We're neighbors to the south. We want to make sure that you guys are okay. Is really what it is. Because we just want honestly we just want the best for you. And you know, there's a guy
Half
at
of us
my
want the best for you.
there's a guy at my poker game who's 100% convinced that you guys are gonna enter civil war once Joe Biden gets elected. He's
I think there will
100%
be.
convinced, and he's a
I
smart
think
guy.
there's
He's
2
a,
or
he's a,
3
he's
months where we won't be in civil war, and then we might be in civil war after those 2 or 3 months.
he's honestly like one of the smartest guys I know, and one of the friendliest. So I'm worried he's right.
Sure.
I'm very
Yeah, me too.
I'm I'm honestly sending you my best vibes. I hope you are okay, and
So far, so good.
yeah, you know,
I
I
don't take
really
my gun with me to the quick trip.
no, you gotta stay safe, and sometimes safety means not having a gun around.
Whatever.
You know, up here in
Yeah.
Canada, a lot of people talk about your guys' affinity for guns, and
Guns are great.
up here we don't see it the same way.
I
Like,
hear that.
guns are a tool, is kind of the way
Yeah.
it's looked at up here. Guns are a
Samesies
tool
for me.
primarily for hunting. Guns
For murdering
are
stuff.
murdering stuff is not something we think about up here. Like
I try not to.
even our military, like we don't think of our military as people who go and murder. We think of our military as people who are peacekeepers, who are trying to bring stability rather than conflict. That's how
Mhm.
we think of things up here. We don't, and that's why we're kind of like we're usually on the same side as you guys, but we're often trying to just we're trying to calm things, I guess would be the way. We're with you guys. We understand your spirit. We understand your enthusiasm. We understand your vigor, and we want you to succeed. But at the same
America?
America, we love you guys.
Thank you for saying their name.
Honestly, Canada, we love America.
Canada.
We have so much respect for you guys. We honestly do. Everybody here in Canada, we all owe you a debt. You are a
The maple
fan.
syrup.
You are no, not only that, but I mean we all owe you a debt. Like you did a great thing for the world in World War II. I think that's what everybody loves you guys for, and that's what
I have a hard time disagreeing with that.
we think
I
that
wasn't there personally.
everybody in Canada and across the world owes you guys. You guys knew what was right. You did the right thing. You moved in when it was necessary. You made huge sacrifices. And America is there's a reason they call that the greatest generation. The people that actually
What's that?
the people that actually went and confronted people in World War II. That is the epitome of self-sacrifice, and America was at the forefront of that. You guys did so much, and we absolutely love you for it.
I didn't
And
do it.
no, but your people did, and the people of your bloodline did, and you have that in you. I know that if you were born in that time, I have every confidence that you would have went over to Europe. You would have been in the conflict. Literally, like, I have every confidence that if you were born in that time, you'd be over there. You'd be on the beaches in Normandy. You'd be fighting the Axis. I know that about you for sure. You know that about yourself too, right?
I'd fight a Nazi.
For sure you would. And we know that the Americans are a proud people. We know that the Americans are a people of great pride. You have a lot to be proud of, and you have a lot to fall. You guys have done so much for the world and so much for global economy and global trade and all that good stuff too. But you have so many people that have so many great people have come from America, and so many inventors, so many pioneers in so many fields, like everything. America, there's a reason people call it the greatest country, you know. There's a lot of stuff comes from America, and you know there's a lot of stuff that comes from other places too. But I'm giving America credit right now. America is
Stop it.
we love you guys. We love you guys, and we want the best for you, and we want the best for you. And with that being said, you know, when everything started happening with Trump and with the election down there was a lot of concern. There was a lot of concern. People were worried about you guys, and people still are worried about you guys. You know, I think it's great.
Rightfully so, if you ask me.
Joe Biden has got in. You know, I think it's great that Joe Biden is going to be the next American president.
Yeah, if there's a peaceful transfer of power and there's not a fucking civil war too.
But even if there is, you Americans are fighters, you know? And I don't want to see people, I obviously don't want to see people die, but
I don't want to see nobody die.
No, of course not. You know, it's like you're a proud people, and you're a cultured people, and we love you guys. And
you're a proud, cultured people.
Dude, we are. Canada is awesome. There's no denying that. We got the fucking.
You guys gave us Michael J. Fox, and William Shatner came from up there, and I love maple syrup.
Michael Myers, basketball.
That Michael Myers. Yes, I love Shrek.
But I need those baskets back.
I need those apple baskets for appling.
Dude, Canada is yeah, dude. You know, like I said before, honestly, we are so
for America right now. That's what's happening.
You and I and so many people are so fortunate to be where we're from.
I feel awfully trapped.
Tell me about it.
Well, you know, coronavirus, and we built that wall that's crumbling into the Rio Grande. And then I heard Mexico paid for it, but then Mexico's just like, we didn't pay for that. And I'm forced to believe Mexico. Mexico has much more credibility than America at this point in time, if you ask me.
That's a statement. Mexico has more credibility than America.
Hot takes. Yeah.
Doc said it. Put that. Would you put that on your Twitter account? Would you put that as something that other people could retweet? Mexico has more credibility than America.
Is Vicente Fox still the president of Mexico, or was he cooed out or replaced? I'm a little behind on world politics.
Yeah, I'll be honest. That's out of my specialization.
You guys still had that guy that was in blackface that one time, right?
Trudeau. He's a bit of a goober. He's a bit of a goober. He's a bit of a goober. Okay.
I didn't think he was that bad of a guy after that.
He made weed legal, but he also embezzled a lot of money through some schemes that were billed as like charity stuff and as like stuff his family was doing as like supposed to be speeches, but they were paid like way tons of money for. He's I guess he's a bit of a scumbag. He's a bit of a scumbag. Justin Trudeau.
The guy who was in blackface is a scumbag?
Believe it or not.
I'm having a hard time believing it.
Listen, I don't.
You know what?
I don't follow politics. I'll be honest. I get most of my politics information from Reddit and my stepfather, who watches Live at 5, the
What's that on?
local news channel. You
Ooh,
know, this is who I hear most of my politics from. So I'll be honest, Justin Trudeau, if I'm wrong, and if you're not embezzling funds from charities, I apologize. But
I don't,
I
because
trust
I'm
my
American.
stepfather. Yeah,
Sure, yeah.
I trust my stepfather. I step my trust father. I
I
trust
step my
my
trust father.
trust stepfather trust
I
brother.
trust your stepfather.
I think he's a pretty smart guy, and I don't think he would say something like that if he didn't know what he was talking about. And maybe that's my bias as somebody who takes family too seriously. Maybe that's my
Most of
bias.
my family, most of my family voted for Trump. I think my dad did. He all but said it.
Canadians were everybody's different. Listen, there's no Canadian. There's an average Canadian, you know, but
There's no Canadian, but there is an average Canadian.
everybody's different, you know. I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for Canada. I can't speak for my community. I can't speak for my family. I can only speak for myself.
As the Lorax, I speak for the trees.
Myself, Trump, from everything I've witnessed of Trump, he's a liar. He's a cheater. He's a fraud. He's a deceiver. He's a con man. He's he's kind of awful, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I haven't disagreed with anything you've said yet.
He's kind of awful. Like if Trump was somebody I hung around with, or was like if Trump was like a friend of a friend, if like I had a friend who is a friend of Trump's, and by proxy I hung around Trump, I would say to that friend like I would honestly say to that friend like, yo, why are you hanging around with Trump? Why are you hanging around with Trump? What's
This guy seems like kind of a dickhead.
He kind of seems like a dickhead. Like, what are you doing with this guy? Is he rubbing off on you? We are the people we hang out with. You know, I leech personality traits from you.
Horrific.
You like comedians, right? You like Norm Macdonald.
I like people that make people laugh.
You like Norm Macdonald. Maybe would say
He's my
was your
favorite.
hero? Would you say
He's my hero. He's my favorite.
Would
He
you
makes
say
me
would
want to
you
make people laugh.
do you think you leech personality traits off of Norm Macdonald?
Yeah.
For sure. We are the people we hang out with, and maybe sometimes the people we hang out with don't even know we exist. Norm Macdonald is somebody you hang out with, right? You are the people you hang out with.
A little bit.
If you hang out with Donald Trump, what does that say about you?
Says I fucks with America.
What does it say about you? You're the kind of
my president.
He was the guy who he presided over the Miss America pageants, right? What does that say? What does that say about you?
Do I also reside over the Miss America pageants?
No, not necessarily. But what does that say about the guy who did that?
Bet he hangs out at Miss America pageants.
Sure, and maybe it is nothing more than that. Maybe that was just a business venture he had.
You mean like because he grabs him by the pussy and stuff?
Maybe, maybe he's not somebody who respects women. Just put that out there. Maybe I'm the first person to suggest that, but maybe he doesn't. Maybe
I hear he cherishes them.
Maybe he doesn't respect them. You know, maybe that's something you could divine.
I'd like to talk about that for a second.
Maybe that's something. Yeah. Right. Go, Doc. Blast off.
So, do you, Silver Doubloons, do you believe that Donald John Trump respects women?
I believe he's capable of it in light of like the media, or but I don't think in his personal life. I think
so
he's the type of person who sees people as tools, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I respect the person. Woman, man, or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they're like a righteous dude, you know?
If you're not being evil to me, why would I be evil to you?
That's a good thing to say. I try not to be evil to anybody. People often think that I am being evil, though.
And sometimes if somebody's being evil, everybody gets one, right? Sometimes people are just having an off day.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one.
Poor life decisions, you know?
But everybody, like, the thing about life is, like, everybody makes mistakes, and that's cool.
Yeah.
You forgive, you forget, whatever, no big deal. Oh. If people make mistakes over and over again, if they don't learn from their mistakes, if their mistakes negatively impact the lives of other people, that's when I'm not vibing with you at that point. I feel like John Trump has negatively impacted the lives of a lot of people.
And you know, I've not had many personal experiences with Donald Trump, but I feel that if Trump was in the room with me, we probably wouldn't vibe.
Dude.
Yeah.
I don't think I would vibe with him either. I would try.
I would vibe with him.
I would honestly give it a real honest try and just be like, I would hold out my hand and I would shake his hand. Would you shake his hand, do you think?
Yeah.
I would shake his hand, but then I would be real with him. I'd be like, Donald Trump. Donald Dron Tump. Will you disavow the Proud Boys? Will you? What do you think about the? And then but like, I would shake his hand.
I had to look up.
And then I would give him a chance. You know, I would give him a chance. And then if he was still,
we keep giving this guy chances.
Maybe you're right. Honestly, Doc. Honestly, you're right. He's been given enough chances. I feel like if I met him in person, maybe I would give him like cuz like, you know, somebody's like,
I take it back. I wouldn't shake his hand cuz I don't want coronavirus.
There's this streamer you like who enjoys drinking. What was his name? We hung out with him one night. In his Twitch chat.
We hung out with a guy. Oh, Kevin of the Shire.
Kevin of the Shire, exactly. There's this guy named Kevin of the Shire on Twitch that we hang out with and we vibe with and we have fun with. But he's not...
Scorpios.
He's probably not the same person he is on stream, off stream. You know what I mean?
I'm not the same person here right now. Well, I'm the same person all the time.
We're really trying. Like right now, I'm not. I forgot that we were even recording. Honestly, I'm just having a conversation.
Yeah. Same here. I don't change. It's annoying.
Right. So, like, sometimes people have their personalities that are online or that are, you know, here's my outward personality that everybody's gonna see. But also I have my inward personality that is a little bit different.
Sure.
So in that sense, I would like to give him a chance to maybe see if his inward personality is different than his outward personality. That's my sense of like, but you might be right. But I think like people have probably given him enough chances at this point.
Probably.
Really, you really are right. That was my first reaction because like, I hate to judge somebody that I've never met. That's something that I really feel awkward about because right, because like I've never met you. I don't know. We've never
the dickhead Silver Doubloons, the famous pirate.
But it's like it's so hard in a one-way relationship. Like I think about this sometimes with Twitch because I'm a Twitch streamer.
Sure.
And there's like a weird hierarchy there, you know. There's like there's Twitch chatters, and they're down here at the bottom, and I'm the Twitch streamer, and I'm up here at the top. But I like to think of it as like we're all just people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
so I like to think that there's no difference between a Twitch streamer and a Twitch chatter. We're just people, and I like to think the same thing. I try to think the same thing of everybody in life, but I realize that the world doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I get that. I'm usually pretty nice until people are not nice, and then I'm not nice anymore.
That's pretty reasonable.
Uh, Most people don't see it that way, though. Like, I'm supposed to continue to be nice, post them not being nice.
That
And that's
doesn't make a
how
lot of
I get,
sense.
I don't know, that's how I get money from them.
Fuck. Yeah. We need to basically be we need to basically, yeah, if we want to make money, which we need to in order to survive, we kind of have to suck up to the 1%. You're not wrong.
God damn it, Donald John Tron Jump. I hate you.
Donald Dron Trump, I think is what I coined him.
Tron Trump is the guy that runs the United States of America.
So I heard.
And I wish we wouldn't Tron jump as much. We're always trying to we're trying to be the best Tron jump that's ever been in the history of Tron jumps. And we've never drumped as hard as we've troned. We've never drumped as hard as we've been troning to do. And we've achieved maximum Tron jump.
Donald Dron Trump, dude.
Tron dump. Drum Tom is never. I don't. I've never walked up to somebody. I've never been rich, but I've never walked up to somebody, grabbed him by the pussy, and said, "Hey, I'm Tronald John Trump."
And you can't care because I'm famous. And if you do care, guess what? I'm either going to give you $1 million for your silence, or I'm going to intimidate you into it. And you know what? The women who speak out against it are really brave.
So brave.
I'm not.
Incredibly brave.
I'm not being ironic, and I don't think you are
I'm.
either.
I'm.
I mean,
Well, I'm not.
be honest.
It's very like, well, I wouldn't hesitate to be like, yeah, this guy grabbed me by the pussy and I didn't fucking like it, and I told him to stop and he kept grabbing me by the pussy. But that's just the type of person I am. Maybe it's the beard, maybe it's the balls, I don't know.
Fuck, dude.
I know, I'm sorry.
Nobody should be grabbing anybody by the pussy.
I'm not trying to grab it. Well, I'm not. I think consent is sexy. May I
Oh,
grab you by the
dude.
pussy?
May I grab you by the pussy? Oh, dude. You mind if I take your shirt off? Consent is sexy.
Uh huh.
You want to come back in with me for a coffee?
I have coffee. It's warm.
Dude,
So is my bosom against yours.
consent is sexy. You're right.
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude. I love consent. I'm all about it.
You know, without it, you could say I couldn't do anything.
How could you?
Well, I
With
wouldn't.
without consent?
I don't have the money for it. If I had the money for it, I don't think I could still, continue to grab without. And also, I would never pay to grab someone by the pussy. If you demand money from me so I can grab you by the pussy, I'd tell you to go grab your own pussy. Go
That's
for free.
that's where we differ. But I will listen, I got a question for you, Doc.
Sure, sure.
Can you monologue for 1 minute while I go urinate?
What would you like me to monologue about?
Oh boy.
That's the demand I have of you.
I want you to tell me about something personal. I want you to tell me about
Sure.
an animal that means something to you. I'll be right back.
Okay, well, an animal that means something to me is the sloth. It's an animal, it doesn't do a whole lot, you know, but when it does it fucking quick. And let me tell you, I relate to that. I don't do a whole lot, but when I do it, I fucking do it. There's no half-assing in there. There's no, Ron Swanson is a personal hero of mine. I would never whole ass anything, but unless it was something that I needed to do. And if, in keeping with the context of what we were talking about, if somebody Tron jumped my pussy, I would immediately tell them to stop Tron jumping my pussy. There would be no in between there. And I think that if you grabbed a sloth by the Tron jumper, it'd probably just fall out of the tree. So maybe this was a bad analogy, but I think that the sloth is an animal that means a lot to me because it always moves with purpose. Without the, like, if I don't move my left arm, then my right arm won't have the grip, the wherewithal to hold on while I continue to move the right one forward. I don't want to fall out of a tree. I don't want to get eaten by a lion. So what if moss grows on my back? It's natural camouflage. I'm a mad motherfucker. I'll blend into the tree. The tree is me. I am the tree. Didn't I say I was the Lorax?
The Lorax is what, from the Alice in Wonderland?
He's not from the Alice in Wonderland.
What is he? What is the Lorax from?
Some might call him Dr. Seuss, maybe Dr. Suss.
Seuss?
Dr. Seuss was a guy. He wrote some children's books, and he was the Lorax briefly.
Cat in the
Or
Hat, right?
what? Yeah, he did the Cat in the Hat. He did that. He did the Grinch.
Who is Mr. Rogers?
Mr. Rogers was a gentleman who thought that children should be taught through kindness and should be talked to like they were people that deserved respect.
Can we talk more
And
about Mr. Rogers then?
yeah, we can definitely talk about Mr. Rogers.
I think
What do
that's
you
a
want to
great.
know about Mr. Rogers? Have you never seen Mr. Rogers?
I saw Mr. Rogers live in person
What?
when I was very very young.
Did he touch you without consent?
I don't recall anything of the nature. No,
I don't think that you could.
I remember being enthralled to meet him, and I remember. I think he's like somebody who had a profound effect on me, even though I
Sure.
remember almost nothing about him.
You met the guy in person. You met Mr. Rogers.
Well, in saying I met Mr. Rogers,
Well,
I
you
went to
went
an
through something
I went to
Sorry.
an event of his.
And you felt personally affected by the event.
I suppose like it's something I've remembered all these years. I remember what the stadium looked like. I remember
Mhm.
where where we were in relation to the stage. I remember him being up on the stage. I think he had a red tent, and I think he had like a dummy or maybe like a ventriloquist, maybe not a ventriloquism
Sure.
thing, but he had like a companion that wasn't human. I don't remember
Huh.
exactly what the
It sounds plausible. There were many things inside that show that were just like, okay, whatever.
I'm trying my best to remember what was going on there, but my point is,
Yeah.
the main thing I remember about Mr. Rogers was him being a wholesome, friendly, loving gentleman who just wanted the best for people, and he was honestly an inspiration in that regard.
Huh?
I think there's not enough people out there who just, if you just want the best for people, how could anyone ever criticize you for that? That's like the most wholesome thing in the world.
You're not wrong.
And so I think Mr. Rogers was a real inspiration in that regard.
I think he was a real Nancy Pelosi.
I'm not. I know Nancy Pelosi is a lady.
It's a gamer word.
Oh,
We don't say gamer words here. That's bad PR.
bad.
Yeah, and as a proud woman of color, I don't tolerate that sort of speech.
Doc,
Hey,
it's almost 6 a.m. here. I think it's getting time that we should vibe our way to bed.
we can definitely vibe our way to bed. I think it's been a successful amount of time that we've talked for.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for
Good night.
watching.
Thanks for enjoying us.
What is this called?
Thanks for joining us here on the Poor Life Decisions podcast with me, Davidge Phipps, and with me as always is Silver Doubloons, the famous pirate, Silver Doubloons. Say goodnight to the peoples.
Sleep well, everybody. I love you, and we will see you next time on Poor Life Decisions. Ending the recording now. I love you all.
End the recording, please. Take my shame away.
Sleep well.